inside Minute Maid Park, where tonight, part of Hall of Fame weekend, we kick off a 3-game series.
Dana Brown went out there and got him and brought him back, and you can see the numbers. This
in a deal, he is in the cleanup spot. C.J. Cron was acquired 6-50. Runder is going to be playable and caught by Jose.
Player.
I started to write down a whole bunch of notes that I was pitched against this team, as Shohei fouls off the 2-0 pitch. Jose Altuve. Jose makes the first 2 plays of the day. Here's Brandon Drury. When we last saw the Angels, it was Mickey.
Jeff Greinke, Verlander,
and Justin Verlander in start number 500 in his career.
Starts. He is 0-3 with an 8.61
cycle of his career. And he goes after the first pitch and hooks one into the crowd down the left field side. 0-1 now on Altuve. And there's a strike 0-2. He's in 4 innings against Seattle in his last start. Jose Altuve, 13-game hitting streak on a no. Takes one up. 2-0 the count. Verlander this year. But here he takes one inside for ball 4. 4-pitch walk. Runs against lefties. As for Grichuk, Randall Grichuk makes the play for out. There goes Altuve. Bregman stops, and Altuve went too early. Altuve. And a pitch misses wide. It's 1-1. Against the A's. This one hooked, and a diving stop by C.J. Cron catches it in the air.
Which was his first start with the Astros this year. Oddly familiar, saying that really just 3 months with another team because he
15 strikeouts. Got in on him as he fouls one back. Stays. Little Aldonado's going to make the play on. Aldi flips it. June 24. C.J. Cron was acquired July 30th, right at the trade. He is deep into the crop. Angel. He had been 7 for 36.
2-1 fastball, kind of down and in. Stayed on that inner.
I'll bring up Mickey Moniak. Moniak takes the ball.
Phil Nevin, whereas Billy got the younger, more exciting Phil. But he has been amazingly positive. Great pitch.
Yeah, and that's the big conundrum now, as Hunter Renfroe takes more money than anybody else in baseball, and rightfully so.
There's going to be some country, because whoever signs him is going to sign him to a long-term.
But Jordan has a beat on it and puts it away. Yainer Diaz leading off here. And field, that's down for a base hit. Yainer Diaz, a leadoff runner. Almarice hit right on top of Reed Detmer, so it's Felix Bautista. And he's almost 90 feet each. That ball, Astros uniform in over 8 years as he takes one off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Fair ball, it's a 3-run ball. Hits it
for the tank, John Singleton.
Run July 29, 2015.
Extension in the minor leagues, which was on 4 straight base hits to start this. So he had a lot of
action going. One of their 3 left. It's a fair ball. It's going to actually, and it'll be a double for Martin Maldonado. And Hifo is first time up and takes one up for a ball, 1-0. Mountains up. Ball 4. Reggie going after the first pitch. Fouls it away. Bregman short. They're going to try and turn 2. A run's going to score. Out as the fielder's choice. Jordan waves that first pitch. Maldonado is holding up. They're not going to be able to turn this double play, or will they? Jordan beat the throw and gets an RBI. Now C.J. Cron, Tucker flings the bat away. That'll do it for the Astros.
Well, I was just watching, so he just had a bat. He's 0 for 2, but good AB. So, it's been great.
Hoping that Jordan Alvarez doesn't keep coming, and he doesn't.
Being chased by the line. You're out, and it's just when I come in and they're.
So, what was your reaction from the bullpen when you saw Lance?
Stop that I had. They were just some. You're in that bullpen and you're just battling with each other. Won these games probably 10 times. I mean, that anxiety of like, oh my gosh, And so I ended up punching outside, but it was anxiety ridden that all these missed, because I remember after the game I said I guess they took the night off.
And they gave us one.
And they also have a different type of strike zone. You couldn't do these things throwing up an
Was he not the most entertaining teammate ever?
Hasn't gotten more attention for the Hall of Fame because people don't realize.
Yes.
And that, to me, what it meant to them, and that means a lot, because you really lay it down line. And when you have time off, to hear them talk about the things that really meant something to them.
Early in your career.
It's a 5 RBI game. Very close to where he put that first ball to Minute Maid Park for the first time in over 8 years.
Yes.
That was an absolute.
Super happy for him. We keep getting these guys on. I may not have to give up any more home runs. we'll pad his stats.
Translator in here, because I don't understand a word either of these two guys just said.
What did they just say? She's double packing, ready to
with his second hit of the night. Martin Maldonado, a 2-out base hit.
Then your numbers will be there. But
goodness.
High slider.
And takes that one. Gets that call 3-0.
The one in Toronto is in AAA. I've got one with the White Sox, a catcher in AAA, and a coach and stuff like that about the game and the little things.
He is here together, and it's great.
Browns won to John Singleton. John Singleton.
Then and now, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. But you've been watching a lot of this guy on the mound too, and Justin Verlander.
2 outs, nobody on. Before I take off, Brownie, I want to ask you about going in.
Our radio producer engineer.
You're going to have to hold this story with Blummer. I'm taking off.
All right.
Brownie.
Here we go with Kyle Tucker, strike one. All right, to finish that story from the top of the inning.
Yes, we need to.
So, but he's so much fun to be around now, too. It bounces on 2 hops. Drury over to first, 1 out.
Lee Dorns and the Allen Ashbys and some of these guys on it, but you were able to come over here and call these games and really
hit a homer. That was the beginning of center field, and that one into second. Yiner with the slide, and he scored both times. There's strike one to him, but it's great era. And we saw him, little tapper to shortstop. Rengifo with the throw. He gets
Steve Baker. That makes this team a little more interesting as far as having that extra stick.
That's a walk, and Singleton continues
to grow a little bit.
Run, and it bounces. 1-run home. Yeah.
Or it'd make things interesting.
Could be a big weekend that way.
Yeah, I would imagine Bruce Bochy, the manager of the Rangers, that rearview mirror.
And 2 runs are going to score. Maldonado has been on all 3 times. The ball one. That's one of those nights that Surgeon's right now, I think. And he takes a 4-pitch walk. He's on game. There is strike one. There's the out at second base for the force play. 10-2 Astros. And Verlander spins up a curveball for strike.
His pitchers I've ever seen in my life, and then Randy Johnson's right there with him too.
Absolutely. Strikeout, riding the bus. Moises Alou. And he usually grounded by Grichuk. And Pena takes care of it. You've really made it work for us. And God bless all.
I greatly appreciate you, and obviously the French broadcaster will always continue off the field.
Average OPSing 1,000, lots of home runs, lots of RBI.
Clock back to whatever Astros baseball, and they were right in the middle of it again.
Man, if it ever wanted any spotlight on him, he was one of those guys that was very humble, gracious he was, because, and we can talk about this another inning, but that doesn't always happen and for Brownie to kind of be your mentor, obviously Ash too. That's
as well, but that was really important for me as someone who was coming over to live events. First time to go, right? All these road trips. And
Luis Rengifo leads off with a single. Want to start to get your stuff ready. I know you've been looking for a play-by-play job. Just a heads up. And he didn't have to send his Shohei Ohtani bats. And be first and second for the Angels with a couple of hits here in the 6th inning.
Finger every once in a while.
No, he has such a dry.
Yeah.
We went on a trip.
He's going to score a run, possibly. Jordan be a little bit late.
Good rules, so it's a legit 9-inning game, and those 2 games must have come. He had game notes, he had a scorecard, everything had a place. And I remember taking the late bus. Good for him. And And I mean, again, because he just had the worst road trip of his life. And I swear to you, the bag came out. And
AV with his 10-3 game. Swing and a miss. He's gotten thrown back-to-back at bats after allowing that home run. Second with the Mets. 7 ties the second most. He's done that 3 times this first with 2 outs. Just a little bit up, 2-1. Been a pretty good zone today. And no, Pena will call off Alex and make the catch for the final out of the inning.
Speaking to the media, his lower back acting up. He's been playing through it. MRI was done already, didn't appear. Can't wait to hear Dusty after the game on that.
Yeah, almost in the exact same spot.
Yeah.
July 20. Moniak will make the play. And that's the first out of the inning. Singleton tries to hold up and does. 2-0 the count. John hit 12 home runs. Rosenberg with his back to the plate catches that ball between his. Rosenberg's now retired 6 in a row after struggling in his first full inning of work. Pena had a 3-hit game. Maldonado having a night. Only 3 for 3, driving in 2 in his last at bat with a sound. Didn't walk anybody last night. Maldi gets retired.
Hasn't got much run support in the past with the Astros, but today a big offensive output gives him.
And that is up, ball 4. So that breaks a string. Randall Grichuk fouls one back. It's 0-2.
As in, Randall Grichuk's father kind of pulled me off the side. He goes, Blummer. I said, yeah, hey. It'd be like, did your dad pull one on me, or did this really happen?
Grichuk. And the other, I mean, the fact that he lived like bats with a 2-2 count, and Graven back-to-back strikeouts, both swinging. I do remember.
Oh, there's a lot of things during.
So he said he has not looked back one day. And Altuve goes after the first pitch. Kenny Rosenberg still in. Rosenberg has been in the game. Altuve, and that will be played on a line by Randall Grichuk. That one's down for a ball, 1-0. Well, his runs in the 4th inning. He has settled in since that 4th Major League home run. And that'll be a called 3rd strike. And a strikeout number. Tackled the ball, but he ends up with a base hit. Pinch hit single on the bench. Jake Myers. And so is the bottom half of the 7th as Myers pops up to end the inning. Astros will not face Ohtani as a pitcher in this series as he pitched the game. That's a called strike at the bottom of the zone. Mariners are leading that game early against Baltimore 2-0 on a Cal Raleigh. It's going to be Singleton who stays with it and makes the catch.
Okay, good.
Because it was the 1870s. They played with different rules. I don't even know if they played with a baseball. Then he followed that up with a 41-win season.
Come on. Then he threw the year.
In the 1870s. Yeah. How about Pena off balance? That's a nice little play.
Last one, but I will tell you, picking this day, 9 years ago, I was doing a walk-off dugout a couple days ago. He's like, oh, you're still here. There was no.
The Angels are changing their whole infield around. How about Dubon? That's driven in 5 years without in between. On base for the 4th time today. But they are approaching 90 pitches with him. And as much as Phil Nevin wants to just. That one's in for a ball. 3-1. No swing in that lineup. Yordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker win a combined 0 for 8 tonight. That one's hired for the 2nd time today. CJ. Hey, Gary Pettis. I thought about sending John. Kessinger down 0-2 to Berea here. And a called 3rd strike will end the inning.